morning, everyone. Welcome to day 14 of the Vegan Weight Watchers Challenge. So, I have been wanting to make a lentil one-pot casserole for a little bit, but I needed to get something for it at the store, and I just kept forgetting, and so I finally picked it up. This is actually from a Weight Watchers website recipe. I needed to get some onion soup mix, so I looked at the store yesterday morning when I was there, and they all have milk protein in them. They all have whey in them, which I was kind of disappointed at. But I figured they probably also have a bunch of junk in there, and so I should just make my own anyways. But I was going to be lazy and just get it at the store. That didn't work out. So I have a recipe from Wellness Mama, which is French onion soup mix recipe. And it's just basically a conglomeration of spices that are all healthy for you. So we're going to put this together. And then when we use it in the recipe, I'm actually making half of it because it says that 1/4 cup of this recipe equals 1 package of the French onion soup mix from the store, which I need 1 package. So that's what we're going to do. It also says that you can add in beef bouillon powder to make it into like the beefy French onion flavor. So I'm going to actually add in some of the Better Than Bouillon No Beef broth to make it into that particular flavor. However, what that does mean is that I'm going to leave the salt out of this recipe when I put it in. It does say that it's optional anyway, and so I'm going to opt not to put it in there. But let's go ahead and put together some French onion soup mix. So I have a little bowl because I'm just going to make half of the recipe, so I don't really need a big container. The first and main ingredient is chopped onion. So it says for half of a recipe, we're going to use 1/4 cup of chopped onion. So, oh, it's very dusty. It smells wonderful though. I love the way this stuff smells. Okay, and then we need 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder. Alright, 1/4 teaspoon and 1/4 teaspoon is 1/2 teaspoon. And then we need 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. Okay. Then we need 1/4 teaspoon of celery salt. So instead of celery salt, I am just going to use celery seed. I have both. I have celery salt and celery seed. I never use the celery salt. I probably should just throw it away. I actually don't ever use the celery seed either, to be honest with you. But 1/2 teaspoon, let's see, no, 1/4 teaspoon of celery seed. Then the next ingredient is 1/4 teaspoon of just ground up black pepper. Pour spout on here. Okay, and then it calls for 1/2 teaspoon, this is optional, 1/2 teaspoon of turmeric. I'm going to opt to put it in, just because turmeric is good for you as far as I know. So, here's 1/2 teaspoon of turmeric, and I forgot the parsley. So it also calls for 1/2 teaspoon of dried parsley and 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt, which I'm opting not to put in there. So I'll go get the parsley and put it in there, but that is what that's going to look like. It's not a very large amount, but you just mix it all together, which I probably should have put it in a container with like a lid on it or something so I could actually mix it really, really well. But that essentially, I'm going to use this whole amount even though there's more than 1/4 cup here, simply because there's not much more than 1/4 cup here because all the other spices just had a tiny little amount. So I'm going to go and get the dried parsley, and I'm going to add 1/2 teaspoon to this, and then we're going to continue on with making our 1-pot lentil casserole. Alright guys, so let's make a lentil 1-pot casserole. So you need very few ingredients for this. This is a very small ingredient recipe. So first thing that you need is 1 cup of dry lentils, and I'm just going to use red lentils. So it says to rinse them. I'm not actually 100% sure why. Maybe you're supposed to rinse them because there might be stuff in there like rocks or whatever, like you worry about with rice and beans. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not going to rinse them because I don't really see any point in doing that. And it doesn't say what color lentil, so I'm just using red because I don't know any better, I guess. I don't actually know that I have green or brown lentils, but I probably have green lentils in there, to be honest with you. I usually have those. Okay, 1 cup of lentils in the pot. And then it calls for 2 cups of uncooked shredded carrots. Believe it or not, I didn't have any shredded carrots in the refrigerator. What is this world coming to? I actually had to shred my own carrots this morning. It was horrible. It takes a long time to shred 2 cups worth of carrots. I could have used the food processor, it would have been a lot easier, but yeah, I'm too lazy, I don't want to clean it. So instead I used, you know, good old-fashioned grater. Oh well, it works. Okay, so that goes in the pot. And then your 1 packet of onion soup mix goes in the pot. So here's our 1 packet of soup mix going into the pot. Then it also calls for an additional teaspoon of garlic powder, which hopefully that works out okay. That's a lot of garlic maybe, but I love garlic, so it's probably not an issue. So anyways, okay, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder and 1 teaspoon of dried basil. So I'm gonna put a little bit of basil in there as well. Okay, so the other 2 ingredients are 1 teaspoon of olive oil, which I'm just totally opting not to put in there because that totally doesn't make any sense to me at all, and 1/2 cup of long grain uncooked brown rice. So brown rice, 1/2 cup. Okay, and then the only other thing that you need in here is 3 cups of water. So got my pot full of stuff. I'm going to put 3 cups of water in here, and then I'm going to put 1 tablespoon of the Better Than Bouillon no beef broth, because that will make it, I've got carrots stuck to it, lovely. That will make it the beefy flavor of, I hope that's not going to be too much. Maybe I'll start with 2 teaspoons rather, and then see if it needs the additional teaspoon when it's cooked. I don't want to make it too strong. It's 3 cups of liquid though. Yeah, it'll be okay. We'll just put a tablespoon in there and call it good. See what happens. Okay, so you put 3 cups of water in there, your 1 tablespoon of the Better Than Bouillon no beef broth, and then you place this on high, bring it to a boil, reduce heat, cover, cook until the rice is done, and it says for 20 minutes. I'm not sure in what kitchen brown rice cooks on the stove in 20 minutes, but I've never had it happen in my kitchen. So yeah, I'm assuming this is gonna take like 40 to 45 minutes, and maybe I'm gonna be totally wrong. Maybe in 20 minutes, this will be ready. But I don't see that as being a possibility. Brown rice does not cook in 20 minutes I mean, in an Instant Pot, you can cook it in 22 minutes. But yeah, I'm skeptical about this one. So anyways, I'm going to go put this on the stove and get it cooking, and however long it takes, it takes. It's only 3:30, so I've got an hour and a half. It's not gonna take an hour and a half to cook brown rice. So I'm going to go do that, and I will be back with you guys when it's done. The one thing that like I said, this is a Weight Watchers recipe. It says that it makes 4 servings, and they're each 4 points. So when this is all said and done, I'm going to look and see how big those serving sizes are. It says it's a cup, which is not a very big serving. So I am more than likely going to put some riced cauliflower in here. I don't need to put it in there now because it will just turn into mush. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it'd be fine. Anyways, I'm not going to put it in there now. I'm going to put it in there afterwards. And that is if we have any riced cauliflower. That's the second thing. I think that we do, but you never know. We run out of that stuff around here pretty fast. So I'm going to go get this on the stove and get it cooking, and then I will be back with you guys for a taste test in a little while and let you know what I think about the serving size and whether or not it needs to be expanded with a vegetable. And yeah, I will be back soon. Alrighty guys, so lentil 1 pot casserole is done. I wouldn't suggest you make this. It's not bad, but it's not like awesome either. So after the 20 minutes, all the water was gone, so that was great. And the rice was like crunchy still. So I put another 2 cups of water in there and continued cooking it for another 25 minutes to get it to be done. And it's done now. And it's fine. It's just not, it's not awesome. So there's 1 container. So I calculated this out 100% on my own, and it comes up to be a total of 12 points. So it's divided into 4. So those would be 3 points each. So there's 3 points here. I've got 2 of them, so they're each going to be 6 points. So it's okay. It's not bad. It's just not awesome. So, edible? Absolutely. Am I going to finish it? Sure. Would I recommend it? No, not really. So, I'm going to take 2 containers of this with me. I'm going to take, which would be 6 total. I'm going to take an apple, which is none. I'm going to take my soy creamer so that I can have some tea that tastes wonderful today. So that'll be another 6, so that'll be 12. I don't have any other plans of things to actually take with me. I think that will be fine for food-wise. This is actually probably going to be extremely filling with it being mostly lentils and rice. That's probably going to be very filling. So not too worried about that. But that's it for me for now, guys. I will see you again tonight. I will probably eat something when I get home tonight. So I will talk to you about that later. Alright guys, so seriously, when I left the house this morning, it was 61 degrees, which is ridiculous for December temperature, to be honest with you. But it's now 43 out and crazy windy, and the wind is like super cold. Oh my gosh, it's rotten out. So anyways, I ate my, what is that stuff called? Lentil one pot pasta casserole or something? Anyway, after it had been sitting in the refrigerator for a while and I warmed it up, it was very good actually. I would make it again, to be honest with you. This morning when I was trying it, it was definitely not repeatable. But when it sat for the however many hours until I ate it, yeah, it was good. Like, I would totally make it again. It was good. So I had that twice, which would be 6, and then I forgot to bring my soy creamer with me, so I was just going to stop at the store and pick up a little one, and yeah, I didn't have time to stop because while I was driving, my boss texted me and said, hey, that Versed drip, they need it, like, now. Are you on your way yet? So I was only about, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes at most from work when he texted me, so I just came directly to work. But anyways, yeah, so I'm going to go home. Actually, I need to stop at the grocery store. There are several things that I need, like we're out of shredded carrots and I don't have any cabbage, and there's just some things that we need at the store. So I'm going to stop at a grocery store quick on my way home, which I don't want to do because it's raining and it's cold and yuck, but I'm going to anyway. So when I get home, if I'm hungry, I'm going to have a little bit more of the lentil one pot pasta because it's there and it's good, and so yeah, I'll just have some of that because that will be just fine. So not very many points for today, which is fine, not a big deal. I know that one of the things says that if you don't eat all of your points in one day, you can carry over 4 points to the next day, or actually I think it's 4 points to your weekly total. But yeah, that's just too much trying to figure stuff out for me. I'm not into all that. That's too much work. So use it or lose it, in my opinion. That's how that works for the day. But anyways, that is it for me for today, guys. I hope you had a fabulous day, and I will see you tomorrow morning for another recipe.